Welcome in to DC On Screen, a podcast about the DC Universe properties being brought to film and television. I'm your host, David Z. Robertson, and this, the man who once developed a speed dampening serum for the bedroom, Jason.
Hi.
So,
I like that one.
Yeah. I can't stop loving this show.
I haven't seen you really try, but, you know, I don't think it's occurred to you to try to not like the show.
I know. It hasn't, not yet.
Why would it?
We are going to get super spoilery on The Flash, episode 6 of season 2, Enter Zoom. Oh my god, this was a good show, man.
It's good stuff. It can't stop being good stuff.
It was so good. Oh man. So just all I will say this may have been my up until the ending, this may have been my least favorite episode of the season. We've
Up
got
till Zoom enters, or
oh man, I don't know. We have Linda Park pretending to be Dr. Light, and at the beginning it seems like she's real Dr. Light, and she's gonna throw the thing through the flash plate through the vortex, and and then okay, well, let's go back and see how we got here,
right?
And then it's fake Linda Park, or it's our Linda Park, and she doesn't know the whole sequence, everything though. Yes.
On any television to date, it was bad. It was funny.
Yeah.
To be clear, I don't mean the actual actress playing her. I mean her playing bad act. She's actually did a good job of playing a bad actress. So
yeah.
Hamming it up. I mean, went back and watched some TOS stuff.
Yeah, I had to actually go back and look and see if it was the same actress from the first season.
Yeah, it was.
She didn't look the same.
Maybe it's the hair.
Me.
I think she did have straight hair, maybe.
Yeah, I think she had longer hair, something. I don't know what it was exactly, but she didn't look the same to me. Yeah. And, but yeah, that was last week. I had to go back and look.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the whole, oh my god, when she, blasts that, the first time she uses her light emitter or whatever, and blows up half of the place, it just runs over and starts shoving a screwdriver into it. Right. That was a lot of fun.
I forget what she does at some point. The tests keep going badly. They just look over. It says, "That was me. That was all me. Sorry." Man, he's so much fun.
Yeah, he is.
He's just been delightful. Even him trying to trick Carrie there was pretty delightful too.
Yeah, that was great. And I have to apologize. I feel bad about this. Generally, I try to remember people who have been cast, but it never even occurred to me in the episodes leading up to this episode that Wells' daughter in Earth 2 was Jessie Quick. Never occurred to me. I should have known because we announced the actress on our show. On our show, we announced who was playing Jessie Quick, and there she was, and I didn't look into it. It was just random girl who is okay, cool.
Yeah, they hadn't made a scene out of it yet. I mean, I'm in the same boat.
Known
it didn't hit me either. I feel you. I'm with you, bro. But
that means both of us aren't doing our job.
I'm aware.
That's terrible.
The only thing I'll give us is just we're so damn entertained by the show. I'm not. I all of the filters turn off when I'm watching Flash right now. Maybe that's circular. Maybe that's self-fulfilling prophecy. But right now I'm just watching it and enjoying the hell out of it instead of watching it going, "Hey, wait a second, that was poorly done."
Right.
It doesn't seem like they've given me a lot of opportunities to have something be poorly done. I mean, the two of the major players in this series are Tom Cavanaugh and Jesse L. Martin. That's a classy fucking room.
And I'll say this, aside from them bringing in Iris's mother,
right?
My only real problem with this series is their version of time travel, which, to be fair, might have something more to it.
They haven't fully elucidated their version of how time travel works yet.
Right, and
there's still play in the field.
My biggest problem, though, is that when Eddie killed himself and Eobard Thawne suddenly didn't exist, or got erased from existence, that it didn't revert to the previous timeline, because as it was stated in the previous timeline, it was supposed to go Harrison Wells was supposed to live, and he invented Star Labs and got the particle accelerator up and going in 2020. And Eobard Thawne, when he took over Harrison's body, he had knowledge of the future, and he got it done quicker. But so if Eddie killed himself and Eobard Thawne never existed, then it should have reverted the timeline. My theory is that Eobard is not dead, that he teleported himself out and faked his own death, and that's why they haven't reverted back to the original timeline. I don't want the original timeline back, though, to be fair. Because I don't want Fringe Season 4.
Right. I think they haven't fully explained it. But for them, I'm not worried. They've gone back and taken care of a lot of their business, so I'm not particularly worried right now. Mm-hmm. And in that case,
I'm a little
it's
worried,
not.
But...
Well, I mean, it's out there. It's out there as a thing that could be dealt with, but I haven't. It doesn't look like they've really dropped a ball like that so far. I don't. Mm-hmm. I feel like they'll go back and take care of it. I feel like they're going to take care of me. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I just I guess part of me feels like if they were going to talk about it, they should have already. Like, I feel like they're with Stein and Cisco and Barry all in a room together. They should have brought that up at some point.
Maybe. I mean, they have Caitlin go back and exposit the entire plot line of season 1 a couple times.
Well, yeah.
And they've gone back over that part. No, it doesn't. I mean, and it's not necessarily a problem if they go back and say that time travel works a certain way, because there are versions of time travel where, yes, you can reset things, except things that were corporeally present. So you can reset portions of time, and you can reset the effects of time, but not necessarily the things that actually happened physically while that time was happening. Someone doesn't undie. That energy has already been spread out through the universe. It's done. It's over. And even I'm sure the word tachyon is somehow involved in this explanation. I'm just not precisely sure how it should be employed.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure LeVar Burton should be saying it.
Right. It would make me feel better if he did.
So,
that aside. Now, go on to Jesse Quick again for just a second. Right before we get to that, he gets off his little intercom system with Ramon, right? It sounded like he was talking to an incompetent version of Cisco in his universe.
I did not notice that.
I think he said Ramon.
I was completely enveloped in the idea that in Earth 2, Robert Queen was the Arrow.
That was another holy shit kind of thing.
Yeah, like Robert Queen's the Arrow.
Dead. In Earth 2, Ollie is dead, and his father becomes the vigilante.
Yeah.
So basically, season 1 in season 1, if Robert Queen had shot his son and lived, or at least not shot himself, and turned out his son didn't make it because he was just a sniveling freaking playboy at this point in his life, and his dad was actually someone with an agenda. If that was the case, then yeah, he went back he got off the island. Robert Queen apparently went through all that crap. We don't know if it went down with Amanda Waller or what, but somehow he got off the island. He would have come back, and he'd have come back with that little notebook with the... you remember the notebook with the invisible writing on it?
Yep.
That would have been the plot of Arrow in Earth 2. That notebook.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure I would have watched that show necessarily, but it's neat to know that it's out there.
That notebook was the plot of the first season of Arrow.
The whole first season, but before he decides he wants to have his own agenda.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, he went through all the names on the list, and then he stopped being a killer.
Well, yeah. Stopped, you say.
The story was done. Well. Who was... Yeah, okay. So, Zoom shows up and pretty much just destroys Barry's world.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
The way when I was watching it, he's just moving from one emotionally relevant part of Barry's life to another, holding him like a fucking rag doll. I mean, it's like he just came in and pissed all over his city. He just urinated all over the entire thing. This is mine now. And who the fuck's gonna argue with him? He's scary. He's really scary. Like, the costume design was on point, I thought. He looks pretty creepy. That Candyman-ass voice is fucking superb.
Mm-hmm. Always. Yeah.
Impenetrably good. And shit, they've written him well. They've written him well enough that, like, him holding the Flash like that, just limp, and just carrying him around, man, it was scary. I was taken.
Yeah, like when he hits Barry in the back.
Oh, the crunch.
I felt pain.
The crunch.
I felt pain.
Yeah.
Jeez. Which speaking of that, one of our listeners, Matthew Ryan Cronin, on Facebook said, "If Barry being paralyzed is a thing, I'm going to be pissed. I don't want half a season of depressed, mopey, poor me Barry. Cheap way to get spin-off characters involved."
Okay, he's right about the last part. It is a cheap way to get spin-off characters involved. You better believe we're going to need some Hawk Girl here soon or something.
I don't think it's a cheap way. And I say that I've thought about it. And at first I thought maybe I agreed. And then I was thinking, you know what? No. Because one, you have to give Zoom some sort of credence, man. You have to say this is not a dude to be trifled with. Harry Wells is way off in thinking that Barry can take this dude on right now.
They have a nice
Jay
scene
Garrick,
at the end to that effect.
Yeah, because they had built up for just a second, Jay Garrick, he was badass, he was awesome, he was a good guy, and then Harrison Wells comes in, and suddenly Jay Garrick is the asshole. Mm-hmm. No, he's right. Harrison Wells is wrong. He might be a good guy in this universe, maybe, but he's wrong.
Well, he's a guy with a good agenda in this universe, and that's the best you could hope for, apparently, out of somebody as selfish as him.
Well, as selfish and arrogant as Harrison Wells, sure, but... actually, it looked like Earth 1 Harrison Wells was actually a genuinely good bloke. He's a pretty good guy.
The actual unperturbed Harrison Wells.
Right.
Was apparently, good dude. Who worked with the woman from the Flash 90 series for 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Ta-dow.
We're going to be right about that, damn it.
I sincerely hope so. Now, importantly, though, one, you've got to have Barry be paralyzed because, damn, dude, Zoom's got to have some weight to him, man. He just does. And two, by the time Legends of Yesterday come around, Barry's going to be back, at the very least.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the thing. I wanted to comfort Matthew on this. You've only got a couple episodes. Even if it is, it's not going to be half the season.
Yeah.
The crossovers are pending. We're... What are we, 3 away from starting the crossover episodes? They're close.
Yeah, and they've released the first picture from Legends of Yesterday, and it's Flash is there and he's upright. He's fine. He's upright and in costume. No worries here, buddy.
We're gonna be fine. Don't get me wrong. I totally get it. It's annoying, but I don't think it's gonna be. It's not going to be a disaster yet. Just give it a second. Just give it 1 second.
Yeah. And while we're at it, Randall Smith sent us an email, and you can too, by the way, at dconscreen@gmail.com. He sent us an email and said, 2 predictions for The Flash. 1, we will see some version of the Justice Society on Earth 2, and 2, we will learn that Zoom is actually Henry Allen of Earth 2.
I think Henry Allen is probably my favorite theory. Right, I go back and forth between it being Barry Allen and Henry Allen. Mm-hmm. I think the actor is so physically big that I keep feeling like it should be Henry because he's bigger than Grant Gustin. Right. So Henry Allen is one of my favorite. It's of the 2 favorite theories. He's maybe the one I'm leaning towards right now. I don't know, but I could dig it.
My favorite theory as to who Zoom is that's Henry Allen, period. That Henry Allen is really Barry Allen from Earth 2, and Earth 2 was from the Flash series in the 90s. Mm-hmm. That is my favorite theory, is that Barry Allen wound up being taken to Earth 2 somehow, or Earth 1 somehow, wound up becoming Henry Allen, and then wound up having to go to Earth 2 for some reason. I don't know. They could figure out a way to make that work, I think. And so, or even that if that was just Henry Allen straight up from Earth 2 and we actually had to get our Henry Allen who was from an alternate universe who was Barry. Right. I just want the 90s Flash series involved.
I thought there was a chance that it was a swap. That Henry Allen, that our Henry Allen, Earth 1's Henry Allen, I guess, was true Henry Allen.
Right. It could be.
And had swapped, I guess, at some point. With the Barry Allen, it would have been the Barry Allen in that unit in Earth 2, but he would have been swapped at some point with this Henry Allen so that we had a human one that helped raise the Flash, and the other one was stuck over in Earth 2 being the guy who used to be the 90s Flash.
And that's a good point. I didn't consider that, but you know what? I would like to see if one of those 52 openings isn't in the prison.
Right. Right. Well, even the night that everything went down, there's no reason. Maybe a couple of holes opened up there. Maybe that's how some of this started. Let's face it, it took a cataclysmic amount of energy to get Barry back there to visit himself. That apparently happens one more time, at least in the future. So, there's no reason that Earth 1 Henry Allen couldn't have been there.
Right.
Found himself in Earth 2
Right.
for just a second, realized, holy shit, the me here is Barry Allen, and has started to turn into a real bad dude, and ends up back on our Earth 1, in our Earth 1 time, trying to protect Barry the way he knows how, which in this case is to keep him very quiet.
Yeah.
Until he's ready.
Let's do that. You hear us, Flash writers? That's awesome.
I don't want to pitch them ideas. They're doing fine.
Right. I don't know. That idea is pretty awesome. I'd be willing to pitch them as many ideas as they would hear. Now, as for we will see some version of the Justice Society on Earth 2. Yeah, that's a possibility.
I'd love it. I really would.
What I'm kind of hoping for is that they call it the Justice Society, but it's like an amalgamation of the Justice Society and the All-Star Squadron.
Right. Yeah, you were rooting for the All-Star Squadron on this one.
I was. And that kind of goes into our buddy Chris White. He says, do you think that Harrison Wells from Earth 2 is also a speedster? I'm hoping he is an aliased version of Johnny Chambers, a.k.a. Johnny Quick, because his daughter is Jessie Quick, which would make his wife Liberty Bell.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm really hoping for. I kind of doubt they're going to do it, but I would like to see that, and it would be fun if Earth 2 Harrison Wells, as opposed to being Reverse Flash, was Johnny Quick.
I have the feeling that, I don't know, I'm not sure they're going to go that far. You realize there's a chance that Jessie Quick alone is just lip service. Purely nominal.
Yeah, I do realize that. But at the same time, these are the same basic guys who have had 15 different members of Team Arrow and just keep putting people in costumes. So I think I think they want to have that many speedsters running around. I really do. I don't imagine that they're going to do.
And the crossover episodes are going to be even better because of it. I don't think it'll.
Yeah.
I can't rule it out by any stretch. And the Quicks, the All-Star Squadron, a lot of what they do is artificial. I forget how they get a hold of it, but they get a hold of this formula that gives them a Shazam kind of like access to the Speed Force.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no, think about it, man. I mean, it doesn't really have much to do with the Speed Force, except that, like Johnny Quick in particular, and think about what Harrison Wells from Earth 2 just did. He made a speed dampening serum.
Right.
Johnny Chambers made a speed serum.
Right. So Harrison Wells could easily be... And think about this, though, too. Jay Garrick is out there without his speed. He's a scientist. He could very easily come up with this little formula.
Yep. Or Harrison Wells could, come up with it and give him back his speed to help him. Hey, God, man, there's so many possibilities.
Anything you want to do, guys. The world is yours. You've got 2 Earths to play with, and so far they're doing a fucking great job of that. I mean, that could have been annoying. That could be one giant terrible trope if they did it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Not
did
happening.
It wrong. So far, not yet.
So far, fucking batting 1,000, guys.
I am really excited with what they're doing. I honestly haven't been this excited, and I say this with great trepidation because of how that show turned out, but I haven't been this excited about a TV show since Fringe started doing Earth 2.
Right. That went very poorly.
That did go very poorly. Very quickly, yeah.
But for just a moment, she was thrown out of a windshield of a car in another universe, and I thought, well, this is good.
Right, and... Yeah.
You'd come back, and the episode would be, it'd be the red Fringe logo, and cool, Earth 2 episode, gotcha.
Yeah. And then
we heard more
4
about
happened, and it was not even in any continuity.
Now, past that, the only salvageable part of the show was John Noble saying something about her insidious vagina.
I was totally going to mention that.
It's the only good line. It's the only good line that the last 2 seasons had.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, they did reference Olivia's counterpart as Folivia. I did enjoy that a whole lot.
Yeah, the Folivia was good.
That and Walternate.
We're saying the best parts about the last parts of Fringe were the wordplay. That's not good for an action show.
Yeah, don't waste your time on Fringe, man. It's a whole lot of good and then just crumbles to nothingness. It's awful. So it makes no sense. Like,
no writer's strike to blame. No nothing. It just failed.
Just didn't know where they were
Brian
going.
Fuller didn't leave. None of that.
Actually, that actually is probably closer to what actually happened, because they kept changing executive producers. They did. They just kept changing executive producers. It was crazy.
It was bad.
Anyway, we're talking about The Flash.
But take this as our PSA for the day. Don't go back and click Fringe on Netflix.
Yep.
Friendly advice. We tell you because we love you.
We do. We want you to know. At no point do we want you to say, well, I like the multiverse stuff over in The Flash. Maybe I should go watch Fringe. I've heard good things. No. Those are lies.
Those are lies. The devil is a lie.
Oh. What else? You got anything else on The Flash, man? I don't. I'm just excited as all hell, man. I'm just, I love the show. I'm loving where they're going. Patty's still adorable.
Oh yeah, and we were worried about her because for when she was cast, we're like, does Barry really need another love interest? The Iris thing was kind of a little bit. We were just worried that he was going to have love interest as part of his story arc. But man, they're great. They're great.
I've said this before. I didn't, just like with Arrow, I didn't want Felicity to be all into Oliver, when Laurel and Oliver are supposed to get together and blah, blah, blah. They've kind of thrown that aside now, and it's just, it's Oliver and Felicity. Damn it. Cool. And they're claiming that he and Laurel are not getting back together.
Yeah, we're digging that part, too.
I would be perfectly okay if Barry and Iris were just done and we got Barry and Patty. I don't want to see Iris and Barry together anymore.
Barry and Patty are great.
I know.
I did hear speculation that maybe Patty has a dark backstory of some kind. Of course she's going to. Doesn't have to be the end of the world.
Dad was killed.
Yeah. Why do you think she wants to fight metahumans? Come on. Now look, when I was talking earlier about Tom Cavanaugh and Jesse L. Martin in the same room, do you remember the scene where Jesse pushes him in the or Joe pushes him in the doorway?
Yes.
That's what fucking acting looks like, kids. Mm-hmm. The look on Cavanaugh's face where he's trying to restrain himself, but he really just wants to pop this motherfucker in the jaw. Man, that's acting, guys. I was pretty happy.
That was good. That was a fine thing.
It was.
God, just such a good show.
Yeah, we're happy. It's a pleasure to make it through Gotham on Monday night and get to the Flash. Sometimes if don't get me wrong, we've said Gotham has a couple of good episodes, but they've really kind of done some weird things. Especially this week in particular. By the time I got through watching Gotham, I was so thankful there was a Flash episode.
Yeah, it is hard for me because I seldom get to watch Gotham and Supergirl on Monday night.
Right.
It is really hard for me to sit down knowing there's a Flash.
Right.
And watch Gotham and Supergirl first.
Not like you'd have to, but...
I don't have to, but I know I want to, really.
I know.
I want to get a couple of things out of the way. I want to get my most disappointing thing first.
Right.
Then the mediocre second. Then the amazing thing in the middle. And then a slow letdown with Arrow.
No, I've had this happen, though, with... The Flash right now is so enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I did this last week, or this week, whichever one you want to call it. I had a lot on my plate. It was busy. It's kind of a hard week. I found myself thinking, nope, I can't watch The Flash yet. I need to make it through this week. So it took me days to get around to watching it because I was thinking no, I've got, I have there's some trials happening right now. I need that to be the reward at the end of this tunnel.
Right.
I really did. I used it to motivate myself to get through a couple of days. I'm not sure if that should at once reflect poorly on me and really well on the writers.
Yeah.
Still.
It's just a great show. Very excited to be a part of it. As far as, not being a part of it, but watching it and talking about it with you guys. So,
just happy it's around.
I don't know.
Anyway. Yep. I think
that's it, man.
I think we've expressed unadorned joy for a while here. We can,
Right. All right. So, that is going to do it, man. We are DC On Screen. We're a proud member of the Giants Has Team Up Network. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at DC On Screen or wherever podcasts are listened to. Be sure to leave us 5-star ratings and good reviews over on iTunes or Stitcher. That really helps us out a lot. You can also find every episode on DCOnScreen.com. If you're looking for a similar podcast about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, go check out our friends Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall at the Marvel Cinematic Universe Podcast. Until next time, keep some DC on your screen. We're totally going to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.